Engine 14, you can return to your own quarters.
Engine 14, return to our quarters.
2-1, you take
2144.
What do you got?
that. Fireworks, Joyce Hayes at West 7th.
We got it.
They brought this to a 3-alarm fire. They said it started in the rear porch, so I'm not too sure what they have up here. This is Nevada Street right there.
Henry 103. Yes, ma'am, the half of the 103 and the 436 was transferred both.
Fire alarm engine 10.
4. Starting mileage is 125.
All the occupants are out of the house.
Do you have an updated address on this?
Emails to D4.
We do. We have 710 Albany Street. You can return.
Engine 10 has a message returning.
2146.
Car 1's on scene with the company.
Engine 3, an unconscious person, 710 Albany Street, Boston. Engine 3, an unconscious
It's a
person.
drone unit right
710
there.
Albany Street, Boston. US Box 1655 Albany and East Concord Street, 2146.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, buddy? What you been up to? All right. It's like a complete loss. They struck 3 alarms. They said there was a lot of fire on the back porch. The second and first floor was fully engulfed. Not too sure what was the cause of it, but the first engine on scene, they did a fast attack. Immediately they struck a second alarm right away. So I'm not too sure exactly. What's going on, my man? How you doing? All right. Good, good. Yes, sir. What's happening? That's what we have. Not too sure like what happened or what caused it. The arson investigators will come out here and try to figure out what happened. So for some reason, a lot of these fires are on the back porch. I'm not too sure if it's arson or what, but a lot of calls, they're getting calls for the rear porch fires. So keep it, whatever's on your rear porch, keep an eye on your rear porch. Just check, do an inspection, see if there's debris that shouldn't be on there. Your porch should be kind of clear, other than furniture. You shouldn't have any, you shouldn't have a lot of objects on your rear porch anyway. No grills, no refrigerators, none of that stuff on the porch. Unfortunately, every time you hear a fire, a lot of them are starting from the rear porch. So if you're a homeowner, check your porch. Inspect it regularly. If you see something that don't belong on it, take it off. If you didn't put it there, take it off. You know, investigate it. Find out what it is. So it looks like they got the all out. They well, they do the hot spots.
Okay, 2161.
Structure fire, 40 Codman Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Kilo 7. A structure fire, 40 Codman Hill Avenue, Dorchester, US Box 485 Codman Hill Avenue, Nevada Street, 2151.
Alright, at Monty King, they got the call. But they just didn't want to.
Well, calling contact. So fire alarm.
And what now? What now? 20 man way.
2162.
Alright, we'll head over there.
Not too sure how much damage. A lot of the damage is in the rear of the porch, the rear of the house. So that's where all the fire was focused on, the rear. So it looks like they're going to be displaced today. It looks like 4 adults and like 5 children, if I'm not mistaken. And the fire chief may make an announcement. We'll hang around and see if he does. Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
Now, what are you doing? You on the road? I'm on personnel.
Fire alarm calling at 10. WC report is coming from the northbound platform. Good line.
Fire line pulling M5. Fire line pulling M5, order
Pilot calling M5, motor squad. Call fire alarm. Squad, call fire alarm. Motor squad, call fire alarm.
You want this spot here? This spot gonna make it easier for you?
What is that?
This spot here gonna make it easier for you?
I'm trying to bring a chain code, but
Oh,
it's crowded area we can do it. So
gotcha. What are they gonna?
I appreciate you.
Pretty good, not too bad. They're gonna bring them on this side over here, or?
Probably over there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can try to push it down.
You're gonna bring them over to this side over here? Okay. Probably in that open area right there, maybe.
40 Codman Avenue.
See if we can.
Nearest box 3485 Codman Avenue, Nevada Street, 2201.
Mr. How you doing, sir? Good, good. How you been?
Always on the scene, always on the scene.
All right, all right.
Officers on the District B2
Cover station 49. Attention engine 49. Cover station 49. 2206.
Delta.
760 Washington Street. Someone trying to fight the employees. Bravo 102 outside.
Right up there. Right out. Was that you I told to stop? Yeah. I was up there to see it. Right up.
So, we had receiving calls at about 9 o'clock at night. A lot of people were calling, reporting a fire. Upon arrival, there was a fire in the rear of the building, reported by one of the lieutenants. About 10 minutes after that, there was a report that there was 3 kids missing. So sent other ladder companies and to the front floor to do a primary search just to make sure that we got everybody out of the building. Went through our fire alarm to make sure that everybody was out of the building, and everybody confirmed that got everybody out. There was 5 children displaced, 5 adults were displaced, 3 cats and 2 dogs.
Any idea what caused the fire?
FIU or us is in the back right now. It looked like it was on the second floor of the rear porch, and it went up to the 3rd floor, and then it went into the house.
You said the children, the 5 children in the house. Did you guys take any of them out, rescue any of them?
We didn't rescue any of them, but we did. There were reports of. We had one of the gentlemen who was the father of the children. He did say the children were in the house, so we assisted with the father. He knew where they were, pointed us the direction, and took them out of the house.
Did the house have smoke detectors?
The house did have smoke detectors.
How did you get the neighborhood? Was that with the 3rd alarm or?
Mostly because the fire looked like it was contained to the 2nd and 3rd floor in the rear, but it looked like it was going to go through the roof. We had right away, and then between the searches and everything, once the searches came out, we went to the 2nd and then the 3rd alarm for
Do you have a spell your name for us?
WAHLEN. District. Yep.
Anything else?
What the scene looked like when your crews arrived?
There wasn't a lot of smoke in the back. It was a little deceitful. We didn't think that we didn't think it was much at first, but we had receiving calls. That was the tip. And then once we went in back, it was all fire. So typical for this neighborhood, typical for this district. This is kind of what we do. It's our bread and butter. The guys are phenomenal at it. They're the best, I think, in the country. But fire. So this is it shows up when we show up. It doesn't look like a lot, but the guys automatically go to work and they're very professional and they know exactly what they're doing.
Can you talk about the damage of the house? How bad is the house?
I'd say $550,000. I'm gonna check back, but I think it's at least that amount, considering that the second, the third floor, not just the porches, but was burnt inside the building. So that's usually about a rough estimate. It might go up a little bit.
And how many people in the house do you know? Any idea?
People in the house total, I have no idea. I'd say everybody that got out, I'd say approximately 12. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
What's going on, man? Hanging in there.
Yes, I got a question for you.
Yep.
No offense, but what do you do besides YouTube? What's your actual job?
Maintenance technician. I would call myself a senior maintenance technician. Supervisor.
They're all right there. Like, you gotta go back. And then when you go back, it's all smoke. So it's kind of.
Yeah.
We did one time the entire.
All the tanks they had to use, those are probably the ones that got to be refilled.
Okay. All right, so then make it this way because
I got a question for you. How often should the building department inspect the porches? Do you know? Or who's responsible for inspecting the porches?
Lisa Timberlake does our public relations. She can answer those questions.
So you don't have the answer for that?
Lisa Timberlake.
Lisa Timberlake? Okay. I'll go down and ask her and see what she says. So it seems that the building department does not know how often you should inspect the porches. That's what it seems like. I asked him a simple question. He doesn't have the answer. So he said Lisa Timberlake. I know who she is. She should know the answer. So maybe we might go down there and ask her if she has the answer for that. I mean, if you have the answer, just say the answer. I mean, it shouldn't be a secret. But if it's a secret, then it means you don't want to do your job. I mean, that's the problem. If it's something written and you know the answer, then say the answer. If you don't know the answer, say you don't know the answer. So obviously he didn't know the answer, so he said he referred me to Lisa Timberlake. And that's not public relations. That's just your job. You know what I mean? If somebody asks me how to put on the faucet, I should be able to tell them how to put on the faucet. I shouldn't have to, you know what I mean? I asked the building inspector how often should the porches be inspected. He referred me to Lisa Timberlake, but he should have the answer readily available, right? If he's the building inspector, correct?
You think so?
You would hope so. If that's part of his job, his description. But he didn't have the answer, so maybe sometime next week I'll go down and see Lisa Timberlake, ask her that same question, see if she has the answer.
And also clarify on whether or not he was supposed to have the answer.
So he should have the answer, correct. And that's a good point. I'll bring that up too. Because there's a lot of, like that porch collapse that we had a couple of days ago. If that porch was properly inspected, that probably wouldn't have happened. And then there's guidelines on how many people you put on the porch.
Yeah.
So, and what could be on the porch? You know what I mean? It is what it is.
You gotta get the inspector out there.
Yeah, get them out there. They gotta stop slacking and start doing their job. I mean, that's the bottom line. And if you don't know how to do your job, let somebody else do it. That's what I say. He's talking down the fire hydrant. But I was gonna go on them more than me. It's gonna go more outward that way. It won't come back as much as it go outward. They get the first blast of the water. But if it's under pressure, everybody's gonna get it for sure. All right, guys. That's the building inspector I asked the question to, but he did not have the answer, so it was kind of like senseless to ask him a question. It's in his field of work. He should have the answer for that. I would hope he did. It's like asking a mechanic, how do you change your alternator? He goes, well, you got to talk to my representative. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. How do you ask the mechanic how to change the alternator? If he knows how to do it, he'd say, hey, disconnect the battery, taking off the tension pulley, do this, and that, and he'd give you the steps. But if you don't know the steps, you refer to somebody else, that means you're not proficient in doing your job. That's what obviously it means. It's not like you're asking them a difficult question. And sometimes certain questions you ask them, they don't want to answer them because, it could be sensitive information, how they relay it. But this is a general knowledge question. How often should the porches be inspected? Every homeowner should know that answer. And if they don't know, how would they expect the general public to know? It wasn't a trick question, guys. It wasn't a trick question at all. It was a simple, either you know or you don't know. Some people, be honest, say they don't know. I say every 5 years, but when you look it up, they're saying at least once a year. But every 5 years would be efficient enough to say that it's been probably inspected every 5 years. But depending on where you look it up at, some people say once a year because things deteriorate in a year. So it depends on what you're looking at. I think you should. Take care, buddy. Have a good one. And that's a general, broad, you can ask. Well, I think I know the answer. I'll ask one of the engineers that I work with. I'll probably get the answer right at the top of his head. But I want to see what the city of Boston guidelines are. If they have any, they probably don't have any. Maybe they don't have any guidelines. Maybe they got to put something together. A lot of these companies are making up. Kilo 6, Kilo 7 is going to probably do an investigation. I know they are at a car accident on Columbia Road in Geneva. I guess one of the company trucks had an accident on the way to respond to the fire. So they'll probably be over as soon as they can. going to consult with a couple of people later on this week and see what's the approach, which approach I should utilize when obtaining that answer. By next week, I should have a final answer based off of all the opinions and decisions. We'll go from there. Alright guys, we'll hang around for a little bit longer and then we'll probably head up out of here. Just want to show you the response. They struck the box. They got multiple calls for a rear porch. And as soon as the first apparatus arrived, they said that they had the second and the... It looks like they said that the first and the second floor was fully engulfed. So they did a fast attack and they struck the second box almost right away. And then shortly after they struck the second box, they struck a third box just to make sure all the occupants were out of the house. They had to do a full assessment, so they needed the manpower to both fight the fire and do the search and possible rescue if needed to be. So, good call, because you better have more people than less people on site, because you don't know what you're going up against when you have a working... But they don't call them working fires anymore, but back in the day, you used to call them working fires. But I still call them working fires because there's a fire that's working. Alright guys, that's what we have. Ladder 6. Looks like ladder 6 might have been the first on scene, if I'm not mistaken. It's possible. Ladder 6 and engine 16. Usually the first two that are right up front are probably the first two to arrive. But that's not necessarily always true, but for the most part it is true. What else can you see before we... He said he roughly estimated to be around $90,000 to $100,000 worth of damage. I mean, you really don't know until the adjusters get in there and assess everything. They might mark it up a little bit because of time and material and product and stuff like that. So they always try to beef it up a little bit. Another one of the building inspectors, or maybe he's not the build, maybe he could be an electrical inspector, but another inspector.
A structure fire, 45 Charter Street, Boston. Nearest box 1233 Charter Street at Salem Street, 2225.
They just struck another box. We'll listen to the details on it, see what they have. They strike the box. Anybody in the area usually tries to respond to it if they can.
Box 1233 Charter Street at Salem Street. Stop for number 40. Ladder 1.
Unknown vehicle, 384 Talbot Avenue, Dorchester. Engine 18. An unknown vehicle, 384 Talbot Avenue, Dorchester. Nearest box 342 Cardman Square, 2227.
Charter Street at Salem Street. Was struck for number 45 Charter Street, Unit 7 in the bathroom. All companies responding to box 1233, channel 3. Channel 3 is the fire ground. CPAC 1 is the command channel. Engine 10 is the bridge. Engine 10. C6.
Engine 52, an unknown vehicle, 384 Talbot Avenue, Dorchester. Engine 52, an unknown vehicle, 384 Talbot Avenue, Dorchester. Nearest box 342 Cardman Square, 2228.
So I guess the Red Cross is going to come out, try to help the people with housing. They don't already have a place to go. Us in investigation will do a thorough investigation. Hopefully they can determine what caused the fire. Other than that, most of these companies are making up. I think they did all the hot spots. They're still investigating inside, so based on what they find, they go from there. Hey, what's happening?
Ladder 1, you're put on box 1233 is a small fire in the ceiling.
What's happening?
Hey, Porter, how
How
are
you
you?
doing? You doing all right? Hanging in there?
Yeah, no complaint.
All right.
1 and 4, H1, Tower Ladder 3, Ladder 9, Rehab Unit, Drone 1, a structure fire, 45 Charter Street, Boston, 1 and 4, H1, Tower Ladder 3, Ladder 9, Rehab Unit, Drone 1, a structure fire, 45 Charter Street.
Yes, sir. I heard that one. I'm not gonna go that one. It's like in the bathroom. It's a bathroom ceiling fire. Because they got the all out. Everybody's clearing up out of here. The good thing is everybody's safe. No one injured that we know of. A few people are displaced. Once again, they did strike the box, and they got up to a 3 alarm. And that was because they needed the manpower to deal with search and possible rescue if there was so, and also to fight the fire as well. They said it was started in the rear porch area. The second and first floor was fully engulfed.
Fire alarm calling engine 30, ladder 17, and ladder 19. Proceed into 40 Codman. Engine 30.
Engine 33, ladder 15, an odor of natural gas, 24 Westland Avenue, Boston. Nearest box 1595 Edgerly Road and Westland Ave, 2231.
Kilo 6 just arrived on scene. You can see the rear porch from here. Like, you can see areas of the rear porch, I should say. You can't see the entire porch unless you, but you can see the rear part of the porch back here.
Engine 2, ladder 18, a local alarm, 527 East 8th Street, South Boston. Engine 2, ladder 18.
Not a whole lot,
alarm,
but
527 East 8th Street.
you can see a few areas of concern.
7422 East 8th and 8th Street, 2232.
All right, guys. Get the incident rehab unit.
Engine 51, ladder
Get
14,
810.
a motor vehicle accident with injury, 140 Parsons Street, Brighton. Engine 51, ladder 14, a motor vehicle accident with injury, 140 Parsons Street, Brighton. Nearest box 5437 Parsons and Daniel Street, 2232. Rescue, a motor vehicle accident with injury, 140 Parsons Street, Brighton. Rescue 2, a motor vehicle accident with injury, 140 Parsons Street, Brighton. Nearest box 5437 Parsons and Daniel Street, 2233.
Hill, engine 30.
Okay, in the message.
It's M5,
19, you received a
part of
message
the motor squad.
All three companies are heading to Cardman Hill.
Engine 30, you have that?
All right, guys. Want to head up out here. Catch you guys on the next one.